They say a man's legacy is measured in acres and harvests. But what happens when your entire world is swept away with a single word, sold? For 70 years, I built my life on this land. This morning, with the sun burning my shoulders, I discovered my son had sold it, without a word. If you've ever felt the ground vanish beneath your feet, you'll understand what comes next. Stay with me. This isn't just a story about loss. It's about what remains when everything you love is taken away. The sun beat down, harsh and unforgiving, just like the truth that was about to hit me. I'd gone out to check on Bess, my old mare. She's getting frail, just like me, I suppose. And there it was, stark, black, and unforgiving against the weathered oak fence. A sign. A damned, sold sign. My land. My family's land. Sold. My breath hitched. It felt like a physical blow, a punch to the gut that stole the air from my lungs. 78 years I've lived on this earth, and 70 of them have been spent right here, on this very patch of soil. My father before me, his father before him. Generations of sweat, toil, and love poured into this land, and it was gone. My hands, gnarled and rough from a lifetime of honest work, trembled as I reached out. My fingers brushed the cold, smooth surface of the sign, the stark lettering a cruel mockery of everything I held dear. Disbelief warred with a chilling certainty. This wasn't a nightmare. This was real. This was my son. The betrayal hit me like a tidal wave, cold and crushing. I hadn't seen him in months. Not since the arguments started. The arguments about the farm, about the future, about me clinging to a life that he saw as outdated, obsolete. He wanted progress, modernization. He wanted to sell, and he did. He actually did it. A bitter laugh escaped my lips, a sound as dry and cracked as the earth during a summer drought. Progress, he called it. Progress meant tearing down everything I had built, everything we had built together. Progress meant erasing a legacy spanning centuries, reducing it to a real estate transaction. Progress meant betrayal. The sun seemed to intensify its glare, mocking my grief with its indifferent brilliance. The familiar scent of the earth, usually a comfort, now felt tainted, poisoned by the knowledge that this land, this life, this legacy, was no longer mine. It was a void, a hollow space where my heart used to reside, replaced by a cold, hard ache that mirrored the chill of the sold sign. This wasn't just land, it was my life's work, my history, my very being, and it was gone. Everything was gone, or so it seemed. But the fight wasn't over yet. Not for me. My boots crunched on the dry earth, a sound strangely loud in the sudden silence. The fields stretched before me, vast and empty. No tractors hummed their familiar song, no harvesters clanked their metallic rhythm. Just emptiness, a mirroring of the hollowness that had taken root within me. I walked, my gaze sweeping across the land, each step a painful reminder of what was lost. The memory flickered, a vibrant tapestry of bustling activity. The sun-drenched fields, heavy with golden wheat, swaying gently in the summer breeze. The rhythmic chug of the old John Deere, its engine a comforting presence, a constant companion. The laughter of my son, a young boy then helping me bale hay, his small hands clumsy but eager. A lifetime of harvests, a lifetime of memories, now reduced to dust motes dancing in the afternoon sun. The barn, once a symbol of our family's strength and resilience, stood forlorn and empty, its weathered wood a testament to years of unwavering labor. The scent of hay and livestock, once pervasive and comforting, was gone, replaced by the sterile smell of dust and abandonment. Even the wind seemed to carry a different song now, a mournful whisper of what once was. I remember the day we brought Bess home, a frisky young filly. She grew up alongside my son, a loyal companion to us both. Now she stands alone in the empty stable, her eyes reflecting the desolate landscape. She senses it too, the absence, the loss. We are all adrift, lost in this sea of silence. Each furrow in the field seemed to mock me, a stark reminder of the countless hours spent preparing the soil, sowing the seeds, nurturing the growth. Years of backbreaking work, poured into this land, now rendered meaningless, abandoned to the whims of nature and the sting of betrayal. The emptiness gnawed at me, a relentless ache that mirrored the emptiness in my heart. Yet even in this desolation, a flicker of defiance ignited within me. This wasn't the end, this was a beginning of a different kind, perhaps, but a beginning nonetheless. The fight was far from over. The phone rang, jarring me from the desolate quiet. Mark. His voice, thin and strained, crackled through the receiver. An explanation, a justification. Debt, he said. Crushing debt. He'd tried everything, he claimed. He couldn't keep it afloat. The farm was a burden, a millstone around his neck. He needed a new life, a fresh start, a different life. My throat tightened. His words felt hollow, inadequate, like cheap excuses draped over a gaping wound. A burden. This land, this farm, had been his inheritance, his legacy. It was a gift, a responsibility, not a burden, and a fresh start. At what cost? At the cost of 70 years of family history, of sweat and sacrifice, of dreams deferred and hopes realized. He spoke of opportunities, of a better future, of escaping the stifling confines of rural life. His words washed over me, meaningless ripples in a sea of grief. He didn't understand, he couldn't understand. How could he? He'd never known the deep, abiding connection to this land, the silent language of the soil, the comforting weight of responsibility. He'd never felt the pride of watching a crop flourish, the satisfaction of a job well done, the solace found in the rhythmic toil of farm life. The conversation felt like a chasm, a gulf separating us, a chasm wider than any field on the farm. He spoke of figures, of spreadsheets, of financial projections. I spoke of memories, of generations, of the enduring spirit of a family bound to the land. We were speaking different languages, inhabiting different realities. His words, devoid of emotion, felt like stones thrown into my already shattered heart. There was a profound disconnect, a fundamental misunderstanding that went beyond mere finances. It was a failure of empathy, a lack of understanding about what this land truly represented. It wasn't just bricks and mortar, crops and livestock. It was our history, our identity, the very core of our being, and he had thrown it all away, or so it seemed. His justification felt callous, a cold, calculated decision devoid of the love and respect he claimed to feel. The phone call ended with a quiet click, leaving me with a silence heavier than any debt. The sun beat down, but it felt different then. It felt hopeful. I was young then, barely 20, full of the boundless energy of youth, the naive optimism of a man about to embark on the greatest adventure of his life. My own farm, inherited from my father, a legacy I was determined to build upon. The land was rough, untamed. Years of neglect had left their mark, but beneath the surface lay the potential, the promise of a future I was eager to cultivate. My hands, though calloused, were strong. My back ached, but my spirit soared. Each sunrise brought with it a renewed sense of purpose, a quiet determination to carve a life from this unforgiving soil. The work was back-breaking. Hours spent ploughing the fields, my muscles burning, sweat stinging my eyes. There were lean years, times when I questioned my ability, when doubt threatened to consume me, but the land held me fast, its resilience mirroring my own. The first harvest, a meager one, yet overflowing with joy. The sight of those golden stalks of wheat, the fruits of my labor, filled me with a sense of accomplishment that transcended mere physical exertion. I remember the taste of that first loaf of bread, baked from the flour ground from that very harvest. It was the taste of sweat, of toil, of hope fulfilled. It was the taste of home. It was the taste of a dream realized. Those early years were a testament to unwavering determination, to a fierce belief in the power of hard work, to the simple satisfaction of nurturing life from the earth. Each season brought its own challenges, its own rewards. The land taught me patience, resilience, the value of perseverance. It was a harsh teacher, but a fair one. It demanded respect, but it also offered its bounty in return. And in return, I gave it my all, my heart, my soul, my very life. And for a time, it was enough. It was everything. Those memories, vivid and clear, a stark contrast to the emptiness I feel now. but they fuel me. They remind me of who I am, of what I've lost, and of what I still have to fight for. The years unfolded like the turning pages of a well-worn book, each chapter filled with the sweat of my brow, the sting of the sun, and the quiet satisfaction of a job well done. The farm grew, expanding slowly but surely, mirroring the growth of my own understanding of the land, its rhythms, its secrets. Each acre gained felt like a personal victory, a testament to my perseverance, a symbol of my enduring connection to the soil. I remember the day I bought my first tractor, a used John Deere, its engine coughing and sputtering, but its heart strong. It was a significant investment, a leap of faith, but it represented more than just a machine. It was a symbol of progress, of ambition, of the future I was building for myself and my family. The old horse-drawn plough was relegated to the barn, a relic of a bygone era, but a cherished reminder of my humble beginnings. The barn expanded, its sturdy frame a testament to years of carefully planned growth. The smell of freshly cut hay, the lowing of cattle, the clucking of chickens, these were the sounds of my life, the symphony of my existence. I wasn't just farming, I was building a legacy, a testament to the enduring human spirit, a connection to the land that spanned generations. There were setbacks, of course, droughts, floods, blizzards. Nature's unpredictable temper tested my resolve. But each challenge only strengthened my spirit, deepening my understanding of the delicate balance between human ambition and the forces of nature. I learned to adapt, to innovate, to find solutions where others might have succumbed to despair. The farm wasn't just a business, it was a family affair. My wife, Sarah, her hands as rough as mine, worked alongside me, sharing the burdens and celebrating the triumphs. My son, Mark, as a boy, was my shadow, learning the rhythm of the land, the value of hard work, the satisfaction of a harvest well earned. We were a team, united by a common purpose, bound by the land that sustained us. Those were the years of building, of nurturing, of expansion. Each achievement, each milestone was a brick in the edifice of our family's legacy, a legacy I thought would endure beyond my lifetime. Now looking back, I see it all crumbling, a monument to shattered dreams and broken promises. But the memories remain, etched in my heart, as vivid and real as the scars on my hands. The sun warmed our backs as we worked side by side, the scent of freshly turned earth filling the air. Mark, a small boy then, his eyes wide with wonder, would follow me through the fields, his small hands mimicking my movements, his laughter echoing across the land. He wasn't just watching, he was learning. He was absorbing the rhythm of the seasons, the language of the soil, the quiet satisfaction of honest labor. I remember teaching him to identify the different crops, the subtle nuances of their growth. He'd ask endless questions, his curiosity insatiable. His small hands, clumsy at first, gradually learned to handle the tools, to sow the seeds, to tend the plants. He was a quick learner, eager to please, his pride evident in the careful way he tended his own small patch of land. He'd meticulously weed the rows, tending each plant like a precious treasure. Evenings were spent mending fences, the rhythmic thud of the hammer, a familiar soundtrack to our shared moments. Stories were shared, lessons imparted, the bond between father and son strengthened by the shared experience of farm life. We'd sit on the porch, sipping lemonade, watching the sunset paint the sky in hues of orange and purple. Those were moments of profound connection, moments of quiet understanding, moments that I now cherish more than ever. Sundays were for rest and family. Sarah would prepare a hearty meal, the aroma filling the house with warmth and comfort. We'd eat together, sharing stories, laughter, and quiet moments of reflection. Marcus, growing older, would contribute to the conversations, his opinions increasingly insightful, his questions more complex. He was shaping into a young man, grounded, responsible, and deeply connected to the land. I remember the day he drove the tractor for the first time, his face a mask of concentration, his hands gripping the wheel with determination. He was proud. I was proud. It was a rite of passage, a symbolic handing over of the reins, a transfer of responsibility, a testament to the enduring legacy of our family farm. And I believed, with all my heart, that he would cherish it, protect it, build upon it. That belief, that trust, has been cruelly shattered, leaving behind a gaping void, a painful reminder of what once was. The echoes of his laughter in the fields now feel like a cruel mockery of the present emptiness. The subtle shifts were almost imperceptible at first, like the gradual erosion of a riverbank, unnoticed until the damage is done. Mark's enthusiasm, once boundless, began to wane. The long hours, the physical demands of farm life, started to wear him down. His complaints, initially infrequent, became more frequent, more pointed. He spoke of the limitations of rural life, of the lack of opportunities, of the stifling routine. His words, though laced with frustration, felt like tiny cracks in the foundation of our shared life, of our shared legacy. I tried to understand, to empathize, but my own deeply rooted connection to the land clouded my judgment. I saw the farm not as a prison, but as a sanctuary, a source of both sustenance and solace. His perspective, so different from my own, felt alien, almost incomprehensible. The unspoken resentments grew, like weeds choking the life out of a once fertile field. His frustrations with the farm were mirrored by my own unspoken frustrations with his evolving dissatisfaction. We communicated less, our conversations becoming shorter, less frequent, more strained. Silence crept into the spaces between us, a chilling presence that filled the gaps left by our dwindling communication. I tried to bridge the growing divide, to understand his aspirations, but my efforts felt inadequate, my words clumsy and unconvincing. He began to spend less time on the farm, preferring the company of his friends in town, their lives seemingly more exciting, more glamorous. His visits home became less frequent, his phone calls shorter, his letters infrequent. He sought escape from the life I had dedicated myself to, the life I had hoped he would embrace. He began to see the farm not as a source of pride and fulfillment, but as a burden, a constraint, a barrier to his ambitions. The once vibrant bond between us, forged in the crucible of shared labor and mutual respect, was fraying, unraveling, threatening to unravel completely. The seeds of discord, sown long ago, had finally taken root, their tendrils wrapping around our hearts, strangling the life out of our relationship. And I, blinded by my own love for the land, had failed to see the signs, to nurture the bond that was slowly withering away. The chasm between us widened, a gulf of misunderstanding that seemed impossible to bridge. My values, forged in the crucible of hard work and unwavering dedication, were as foreign to him as the language of a distant land. He spoke of technology, of efficiency, of progress, while I clung to the traditions of a bygone era, to the rhythm of the seasons, to the intrinsic value of the land itself. He saw the farm as a business, a commodity to be bought and sold, while I saw it as a legacy, a sacred trust passed down through generations. His ambition was directed towards the city, towards the allure of a fast-paced, technology-driven world, while mine remained firmly rooted in the soil, in the tangible rewards of honest labor. Our conversations became battles, our differing viewpoints clashing like cymbals. I tried to explain the importance of patience, the value of perseverance, the rewards of nurturing life from the earth. He countered with tales of innovation, of efficiency, of the potential for greater wealth and opportunity beyond the confines of our small farm. He saw limitations where I saw potential, constraints where I saw freedom. His impatience with the slow pace of farm life, his disdain for what he saw as outdated methods, fueled my own growing frustration. I couldn't understand his desire for something different, something beyond the life I had found so fulfilling. His pursuit of a life unbound by tradition felt like a rejection of everything I stood for, everything I had worked so hard to create. The generational gap wasn't just a difference in age or outlook. It was a profound disconnect in values, a clash of worlds that seemed irreconcilable. The unspoken words hung heavy between us, a constant reminder of our inability to communicate, to understand, to bridge the chasm that had opened up between us. It was a silent war, fought not with weapons but with words left unspoken, with dreams left unfulfilled, with a legacy left in ruins. The loss of the farm wasn't just the loss of land and possessions. It was the loss of a part of myself. My identity, my sense of self, was so inextricably woven into the fabric of that land, into the rhythm of the seasons, into the daily cycle of planting, tending, and harvesting. It was a part of my soul, a part of my being. Now that part is gone, leaving behind a hollow ache, a void that can never be filled. It feels like I've been uprooted, torn from the soil that nourished me, both physically and spiritually. I'm adrift, lost at sea, with no land in sight, no familiar landmarks to guide me. The familiar sights, sounds and smells that once defined my life are gone, replaced by an unnerving silence, a disquieting emptiness. The fields, once vibrant with life, now seem desolate, barren, devoid of the energy and vitality that once flowed through them. The barn, once a symbol of strength and resilience, now stands as a silent testament to loss and abandonment. Even the air itself feels different, devoid of the comforting sense of freshly turned earth, of ripe fruit, of harvested grain. The weight of loss presses down on me, a heavy cloak of despair that I cannot seem to shed. Sleep offers little respite. My dreams filled with images of the farm, of the life that once was. The faces of my ancestors, those who toiled on this land before me, seem to haunt my waking hours, their silent judgment a constant reminder of my failure to preserve their legacy. I wander through the empty house, each room a painful reminder of what I have lost. The kitchen, where Sarah and I shared countless meals, now feels cold and desolate. The living room, where we gathered as a family, is filled with an oppressive silence. Even the bedroom, once a sanctuary of warmth and intimacy, now feels like a tomb. The memories linger vivid and sharp, but they offer little solace, only deepening the sense of loss, of emptiness, of being utterly adrift. The world feels unfamiliar, unstable. The ground beneath my feet shifts, threatening to swallow me whole. There's no rage, no screaming, no desperate pleas, just a quiet resignation, a slow acceptance of the inevitable. Anger would be a waste of energy, a futile gesture against the tide of events. Confrontation would only serve to deepen the chasm between us, to further solidify the distance that already separates us. My response is not one of outward defiance, but of quiet, inward rebellion. It's a silent protest, a subtle act of self-preservation. I pack a small bag, selecting only the essentials: a few worn shirts, a pair of sturdy trousers, a well-loved jacket, a worn Bible, and a small collection of photographs. These are the tangible remnants of a life lived, a life uprooted, a life forced to move on. Each item I place in the bag is a memory, a fragment of a past that is now slipping away. The photographs are faded, but the memories they evoke are sharp, poignant, and intensely personal. The worn Bible is a comfort, a source of solace in this time of profound loss and uncertainty. The clothes are simple, unassuming, but they are comfortable, familiar, and offer a sense of continuity in a world that feels increasingly unstable and unpredictable. This act of packing is not a surrender, but a strategic retreat. It's a conscious decision to preserve myself, to protect what little remains of my spirit, my dignity, my sense of self. It is a quiet act of defiance, a refusal to be completely broken by the events that have unfolded. It's a silent affirmation of my resilience, a testament to my ability to endure, to adapt, to find a way forward, even in the face of overwhelming loss. The bag itself is not just a container of physical possessions. It's a symbol of my resolve, a tangible representation of my determination to rebuild, to find a new path, a new purpose, a new beginning. It's a silent promise to myself, a commitment to find strength in the face of adversity, and to emerge from this ordeal with my spirit unbroken. Leaving is not an admission of defeat, but a strategic maneuver, a necessary step towards healing and renewal. The gravel crunches under my boots, a sound that echoes the quiet sorrow in my heart. I walk away from the farm, my shoulders slumped, my gaze fixed on the horizon. The setting sun casts long shadows, stretching and distorting the familiar landscape, making it seem both familiar and alien at once. Each step is a farewell, a silent goodbye to a lifetime of memories, a lifetime of hard work, a lifetime dedicated to this land. The fields, once my pride and joy, now seem to stretch endlessly before me, a vast expanse of emptiness. The trees, once sheltering companions, stand as silent witnesses to my departure. There is a sense of finality to this moment, a profound awareness that I am leaving a part of myself behind. But there is also a quiet dignity in my departure, a sense of acceptance, a recognition that some chapters must end before new ones can begin. It is not defeat that guides my steps, but a quiet resolve, a determination to find a new path, a new purpose. I don't look back. There's no need. The images are etched in my mind, indelibly imprinted on my soul. The scent of freshly turned earth, the feel of the sun on my skin, the sound of the wind rustling through the leaves. These sensations are as much a part of me as my own heartbeat. They will remain with me, long after the physical farm has faded into memory. This is not the end of my story, but a turning point, a transition. The farm may be gone, but the lessons learned, the memories made, the resilience forged, these remain. They are my strength, my compass, my guide as I navigate the uncertain path ahead. The weight of the past is heavy, but it does not cripple me. It strengthens me, it shapes me. It reminds me of who I am, of where I've been and of where I'm going. And as I walk away, I carry those memories, those lessons, those strengths with me, ready to face whatever the future may hold, with quiet dignity and unwavering resolve. The town is small, almost insignificant, a collection of modest houses huddled together along a dusty road. It's a far cry from the sprawling landscape of my farm, a stark contrast to the life I once knew. I find myself in a small, sparsely furnished room, the air thick with the scent of dust and old wood. It's unfamiliar, unsettling, but not unwelcome. There's a certain quiet solitude here, a peaceful stillness that is both comforting and unnerving. The silence is broken only by the occasional chirp of a bird, the distant rumble of a passing car, the gentle creak of the old wooden floorboards beneath my feet. It's a stark contrast to the constant hum of activity that once filled my days, the relentless rhythm of farm life. Yet, in this silence, I find a strange sense of peace, a quiet acceptance of my new reality. I am alone, but not lonely. The solitude is not oppressive, but rather restorative. It allows me to reflect, to process the events that have transpired, to come to terms with the profound loss I have experienced. The solitude allows me to reconnect with myself, to rediscover the strength and resilience that have always been a part of me. This small town, this humble room, represents a new beginning, a fresh start. It's a chance to redefine myself, to create a new identity, a new purpose. The future is uncertain but not frightening. There's a subtle sense of possibility in the air, a quiet optimism that whispers of new adventures, new experiences, new connections. It's not the life I expected, but it's a life nonetheless. It's a life I can shape, a life I can mold to my own desires, my own needs, my own aspirations. The past is behind me, but it doesn't define me. It informs me, strengthens me, and prepares me for what lies ahead. This new chapter, though uncertain, holds the promise of peace, quiet contentment, and a renewed sense of self. A quiet acceptance has settled within me, a deep breath before the unknown, and a cautious optimism for a future, however different it may be, that is still my own. The reality of my situation settles in like a heavy fog, obscuring the hopeful horizon I'd envisioned. Loneliness, a constant companion, wraps around me like a chilling wind. The silence in this small room is no longer peaceful. It's a stark reminder of my isolation. The financial insecurity gnaws at me, a persistent ache that mirrors the emptiness in my heart. The comfortable rhythm of a lifetime's work is gone, replaced by an unsettling uncertainty. The days stretch out before me, long and empty, filled with a quiet desperation that threatens to overwhelm me. I find myself staring out the window, watching the world go by, feeling detached, disconnected, a silent observer of a life that no longer includes me. The future, once a source of quiet optimism, now looms as a vast unknown territory filled with potential pitfalls and unanswered questions. Sleep offers little respite, my dreams haunted by the ghosts of the past, the echoes of a life lost. The familiar faces of my ancestors seem to watch me, their silent judgment a constant reminder of my failure to preserve our legacy. The weight of this failure presses down on me, a heavy cloak of despair that threatens to suffocate me. Yet, amidst the darkness, a glimmer of hope persists, a stubborn ember refusing to be extinguished. It's a faint spark, almost imperceptible, but it's there, a reminder that life continues, even in the face of overwhelming loss. It's a reminder of my own resilience, my own strength, my own capacity for adaptation. It's a reminder that even in this new, unfamiliar landscape, I can find a way to rebuild, to reinvent myself, to create a new life, a new purpose. The path ahead may be uncertain, but it is not insurmountable. I will find my way, I must. The future is not a dark abyss, but an uncharted territory, and I will navigate it, one step at a time, with quiet determination and a renewed sense of hope. The woman next door, Mrs. Henderson, a kindly soul with eyes that crinkle at the corners when she smiles, appeared on my doorstep with a plate of freshly baked cookies. It was an unexpected gesture, a small act of kindness in a world that had felt increasingly cold and indifferent. She didn't pry, didn't ask questions, simply offered a warm smile and a plate of cookies, a simple offering that spoke volumes. Her presence, brief as it was a lifeline, a connection to the world beyond my solitary existence. The aroma of warm chocolate chips filled the small room, momentarily easing the weight of my despair. The cookies were delicious, but it wasn't just the taste that comforted me. It was the human connection, the unspoken empathy, the simple act of sharing. She returned the next day, offering to help me unpack, her movements gentle, her touch reassuring. She didn't intrude, but her presence filled the silence, chasing away the shadows that had clung to me like a shroud. We talked, not about my losses, but about the weather, the town gossip, the beauty of the surrounding hills. It was a gentle conversation, a quiet exchange of pleasantries, but it was enough. It was a balm to my wounded soul, a small comfort in a sea of uncertainty. Her kindness wasn't a grand gesture, not a dramatic act of salvation, but a quiet affirmation of human connection, a simple demonstration of compassion in a time of profound need. It was a reminder that even in the face of overwhelming loss, there is still kindness to be found, still connection to be made, still hope to be discovered. It's a small thing, a simple act, yet it has given me strength, a sense of belonging, a renewed belief in the inherent goodness of people. Mrs. Henderson's kindness, a small gesture of unexpected empathy, has become a beacon of hope, illuminating the path ahead, guiding me toward a future that, while still uncertain, now feels a little less daunting, a little less lonely, a little more hopeful. The small job at the local library isn't farming, not by a long shot, but it offers a different kind of harvest, a different kind of fulfillment. It's a quiet job, shelving books, helping patrons find what they're looking for, a routine that fills the empty spaces in my days, the scent of old paper and ink, the quiet hum of activity, the gentle rhythm of work. It's a soothing balm to my frayed nerves. I find myself surrounded by stories, tales of adventure, romance, loss, and redemption. These stories, though fictional, resonate with my own experiences, offering a sense of connection, a shared humanity. I'm no longer alone in my grief, my loss. The stories remind me that life, even in its darkest moments, is filled with resilience, hope, and the possibility of a new beginning. The library is a small community, a haven of quiet contemplation and shared knowledge. I've met other patrons, friendly faces who greet me with a smile, who offer a kind word, who share a moment of conversation. These small interactions, these fleeting connections, are a source of comfort, a reminder that I'm not alone, that I'm part of something larger than myself. The work itself is simple, unassuming, but it provides a sense of purpose, a reason to get up in the morning, a reason to engage with the world. It's a routine that anchors me, grounding me in the present, preventing me from being swept away by the currents of my grief. It's not the life I envisioned, not the legacy I hope to leave, but it's a life, a purpose, a contribution. And in this quiet corner of the library, surrounded by stories and friendly faces, I find a sense of peace, a sense of belonging, a sense of purpose that I never expected to find, but am deeply grateful to have discovered. The soil may be different, the tools unfamiliar, but the harvest is just as rewarding. The years stretch out behind me, a tapestry woven with threads of joy and sorrow, success and failure. I see the fields of golden wheat, the sturdy barns, the bustling farm, a testament to years of hard work and dedication. I see my son, Mark, a small boy, his hands calloused from helping me, his eyes bright with the promise of the future. These memories, vivid and sharp, are intertwined with the bitter sting of loss, the pain of betrayal, the weight of the past, the crushing disappointment, the profound sense of failure. It lingers, a persistent ache in my heart. I failed to bridge the gap between generations, to understand my son's desires, to guide him towards a future that honored our shared history. The farm, our legacy, is gone, a symbol of my shortcomings, a stark reminder of what I have lost. But amidst the pain, a quiet acceptance has begun to bloom. I recognize that life is not a straight line, not a predictable path, but a winding road, filled with unexpected turns, unforeseen detours, and moments of both profound joy and crushing sorrow. The loss of the farm is a significant wound, a deep scar that will never fully heal. But it is not the end of my story. I have lived a full life, a life filled with purpose, with passion, with love. I have witnessed the beauty of nature, the resilience of the human spirit, the power of connection. I have learned the value of hard work, the importance of family, and the necessity of acceptance. The farm may be gone, but the lessons learned, the memories created, the love shared, these remain an enduring legacy that transcends the loss of land and possessions. The pain remains, a quiet ache, but it no longer defines me. It has shaped me, strengthened me, and prepared me for the next chapter, however different it may be. And in that, I find a measure of peace. Letting go is a slow, agonizing process, like peeling away layers of skin, each layer revealing a fresh wound, a raw nerve. The memories flood back, relentless waves crashing against the shores of my consciousness. The scent of freshly turned earth, the feel of the sun on my skin, the sound of the wind whispering through the wheat. These sensory memories are both a comfort and a torment. They are the echoes of a life lived, a legacy built, a future shattered. I see myself as a young man full of energy and hope, inheriting the farm from my father, inheriting a legacy of hard work and dedication. I see my son, Mark, growing up alongside me, learning the rhythm of the land, the language of the seasons. These are cherished moments, precious snapshots of a life lived fully, a life filled with purpose and meaning. But then, the shadows creep in. The cracks appear in the foundation. The arguments, the misunderstandings, the growing distance between father and son, these are the fissures that eventually led to the collapse. The sale of the farm is not just a loss of property, it's a loss of connection, a severing of a vital bond that held our family together. The pain is still sharp, raw, a constant companion, but the anger is fading, replaced by a quiet acceptance. I understand now that not everything can be controlled, not every outcome can be predicted. Life is a journey, not a destination, and sometimes the path takes unexpected turns. The farm is gone, but the memories remain. The lessons learned endure. And in letting go of the past, I am freeing myself to embrace the present, to find peace in the quiet acceptance of what has been and what will be. The struggle is real, the pain is palpable, but there is a growing sense of closure, a quiet understanding that the past, while significant, does not define my future. The memories are precious, but they are not chains. They are reminders of a life lived, a legacy honored, and a path taken. And as I release them, I find a lightness, a freedom that allows me to move forward, to embrace the unknown with a newfound sense of peace and acceptance. The letting go is not an erasure, but a transformation. It is the turning of a page, the beginning of a new chapter. It's a strange thing. Forgiveness. It's not a sudden burst of light, a dramatic unveiling of understanding. It's a slow, gradual process, a quiet unfolding of acceptance, a letting go of resentment. I find myself unexpectedly beginning to see Mark's perspective, not condoning his actions, but understanding the pressures that led him to that fateful decision, the weight of debt, the crushing burden of expectation, the yearning for a life different from the one he inherited. These were forces beyond his control, or at least beyond his ability to manage. He saw the farm not as a legacy, but as a prison, a life sentence to a labor he found unfulfilling. He didn't see the history, the love, the sacrifices woven into the very soil. He saw only the relentless toil, the financial strain, the crushing weight of expectation. This understanding doesn't erase the pain, the sense of loss, the profound disappointment. The wound remains, a scar that will forever mark my life. But the anger, the bitterness, the resentment, these are beginning to fade, replaced by a quiet sadness, a melancholic acceptance of what could not be changed. Forgiveness isn't forgetting. It's not condoning. It's acknowledging the complexities of human experience, the weight of circumstance, the limitations of understanding. It's recognizing that even in the midst of pain, there is a possibility of empathy, a chance for connection, even if that connection is fractured, incomplete. Forgiveness, in this case, is not for Mark alone, but also for myself, for my own inability to see his struggles, to understand his pain, to bridge the chasm that separated us. It's a quiet acceptance of what was and a tentative step towards a future where understanding, if not reconciliation, might be possible. The sadness remains, a constant companion, but it's now tinged with a quiet understanding, a gentle acceptance, and a fragile hope for the future. My days now unfold with a quiet rhythm, a gentle predictability that's both comforting and unexpected. The library isn't the farm, not by a long shot. There's no scent of soil and sweat, no clamor of machinery, no endless cycle of planting and harvesting. But there's a different kind of yield here, a different kind of harvest. I shelve books, their papery scent a subtle comfort, a nostalgic echo of a life-long past. I help patrons, their quiet requests a gentle reminder of shared humanity. I've found a small community within these walls, a network of quiet connections that ease the loneliness. It's a simple life, unassuming, yet it offers a sense of purpose, a reason to get up each morning. The routine is a balm to my soul, a structure that holds me steady amidst the turbulent currents of grief and change. It's not the life I envisioned, not the legacy I planned for, but it is a life, a contribution, a quiet affirmation of resilience. I'm rebuilding my life, brick by brick, in a way I never anticipated. This new life is not a replacement for the farm, for the memories, for the legacy lost, but it is a testament to the enduring strength of the human spirit, a quiet defiance in the face of adversity. The quiet hum of the library, the gentle rustle of turning pages, the quiet conversations, these are the sounds of my new life, the soundtrack to my rebuilding. It's a life built not on soil and sweat, but on words and stories, on quiet connections and shared experiences. Today it's a life that's not about grand gestures or monumental achievements, but about finding peace in the simple act of being, of contributing, of connecting. And in that quiet corner of the library, I find not only solace but a renewed sense of purpose, a quiet satisfaction in the rebuilding of a life that, though different, is no less meaningful. The harvest may be different, the soil unfamiliar, but the growth, the fulfillment is just as real. This is my new field, my new purpose, my new harvest. Loneliness, that insidious companion of grief, began to recede as I found myself unexpectedly embraced by this small town. It started with Mrs. Gable, the woman next door. Her warm smile and plate of cookies a lifeline in my darkest hours. Her kindness, a simple gesture, broke through the wall of isolation I'd built around myself. It was a small act, a quiet offering, but it spoke volumes about the unexpected generosity of the human spirit. Slowly, tentatively, I began to emerge from my self-imposed exile. I started attending the town's monthly book club, a gathering of diverse individuals bound by a shared love of literature. Their conversations, their insights, their shared laughter, it was a balm to my weary soul, a gentle reminder that connection, community, existed even outside the familiar fields of my childhood. There was Mr. Henderson, a retired history professor, whose stories of the town's past resonated deeply, echoing the rich tapestry of my own life's history. There was Sarah, a young artist, whose vibrant energy and creative spirit reminded me of the boundless possibilities of life. And there was the quiet camaraderie of the library staff, colleagues who shared not just a workplace, but a bond built on mutual respect and shared purpose. These connections, these unexpected friendships, were not replacements for the bonds of family I had lost, but they were a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, a quiet affirmation of the enduring capacity for connection, even in the face of profound loss. I found myself, unexpectedly, belonging, not in the familiar fields of my past, but in this small, unassuming town, surrounded by people who, through their kindness and shared experiences, had helped me to rebuild not just a life, but a community. The sense of belonging was a slow, gentle bloom, a quiet blossoming in the heart of grief. The loneliness, once a suffocating presence, is now a distant memory, replaced by the warmth of unexpected friendships, the quiet comfort of shared humanity. The sun sets differently here, casting long shadows across the quiet streets, a stark contrast to the vibrant hues that once painted the vast expanse of my farm. The memories, once a constant ache, now reside in a gentler space, a quiet corner of my heart. The pain of loss remains, a subtle undercurrent to the calm of my days, but it no longer overwhelms. It's a constant companion, yes, but a subdued one, a quiet reminder of a life lived, a legacy honored, a chapter closed. I find solace in the simplicity of my days, the gentle rhythm of routine, the quiet satisfaction of a job well done. The library, once a refuge, is now a home, a place of belonging, a space where I've found not just purpose, but peace. The books, silent witnesses to countless stories, reflect the complexities of life, the joys and sorrows, the triumphs and defeats. They are a constant reminder that life, in all its unpredictable turns, is a journey worth embracing. The farm is gone, but the lessons learned, the memories cherished, the resilience forged, these remain, a testament to a life lived fully, a legacy enduring. It's not the legacy I envisioned, the one I had planned for, but it is a legacy nonetheless, one built not on fertile fields and bountiful harvests, but on quiet resilience, unexpected friendships, and the quiet acceptance of life's inevitable changes. This quiet peace is not an absence of feeling, but a transformation of it. It is not forgetting, but remembering with a gentler heart, a heart that has learned to embrace the complexities of loss, the bittersweet symphony of life's unpredictable journey. The pain remains, but it's now woven into the fabric of my being, a subtle thread in the rich tapestry of my life, a reminder of the strength I discovered in the face of adversity. It is a peace born not of denial but of acceptance, a quiet understanding that even in the midst of loss, there is beauty, there is resilience, there is hope. And in that quiet acceptance, I find not just peace, but a profound sense of gratitude for the life I've lived, the lessons I've learned, and the unexpected beauty I've found in the quiet corners of this new chapter. It was a Tuesday, unremarkable in every way, except for one small unexpected detail. The book club had decided to have a potluck, a casual gathering after our monthly discussion. I brought a simple apple pie, a recipe passed down through generations, a taste of the farm, a whisper of the past. As I placed it on the table, surrounded by the comforting aroma of various dishes, a wave of nostalgia washed over me. The pie, a humble offering, became a catalyst for connection. Mr. Henderson shared a story of his grandfather's apple orchard, a tale of resilience and hard work that echoed my own experiences. Sarah, with her infectious laugh, spoke of her grandmother's famous apple crumble, a recipe she was now painstakingly recreating. Even Mrs. Gable, usually reserved, shared a memory of her childhood spent picking apples with her father. In that shared moment, surrounded by the warmth of the gathering, the aroma of the pie, and the comforting rhythm of shared stories, a profound sense of connection washed over me. It wasn't the farm, not the life I had lost, but something just as profound, a shared humanity, a connection forged not in the soil of the fields, but in the simple act of sharing a meal, a story, a moment of connection. It was a quiet, unexpected joy, a small beacon of light piercing through the lingering shadows of grief. It was a reminder that even in the midst of loss, beauty exists, that even amidst the quiet melancholy, moments of unexpected joy can blossom, offering a glimpse into the enduring strength of the human spirit. the enduring capacity for connection, and the enduring beauty of a life lived, a life transformed, a life embraced. The apple pie, a humble offering, had become a symbol of resilience, a testament to the enduring power of human connection, a quiet reminder that even in the face of profound loss, life, in all its unpredictable beauty, continues. And in that quiet, unexpected joy, I found a renewed appreciation for the simple pleasures, the quiet connections, the unexpected beauty that still exists in the world even after the farm was gone. Sometimes, late at night, when the quiet of the library is broken only by the gentle hum of the heating system, my mind wanders back to the farm. The images aren't sharp, not like photographs, but more like faded watercolors, softened by time and memory. I see myself as a young man, strong and hopeful, my hands calloused but my spirit untamed. I see Mark, a small boy, his laughter echoing through the fields, his eyes bright with wonder as he learned the rhythm of the land. The memories aren't filled with bitterness now, not the sharp, stinging bitterness of loss. Instead, there's a gentle ache, a poignant nostalgia, a sense of bittersweet acceptance. The fields, once symbols of struggle and eventual defeat, are now canvases painted with the vibrant hues of cherished memories. The scent of freshly turned soil, the feel of sun-warmed earth beneath my feet, the endless cycle of planting and harvesting, these are not ghosts of the past, but echoes of a life lived, a legacy honored. The weight of the past, once a crushing burden, now feels lighter, more manageable. It's still there, a part of me, woven into the fabric of my being, but it no longer defines me. I carry the memories, not as chains, but as talismans, reminders of a life lived, lessons learned, and a resilience forged in the crucible of hardship. The farmer, once my entire world, is now a chapter in my story, a chapter filled with both joy and sorrow, triumph and defeat, but ultimately a chapter that has shaped me, strengthened me, and prepared me for the unexpected beauty of this new life. The weight of memories is not a burden anymore, but a quiet comfort, a gentle reminder of who I am, where I've come from, and the quiet strength that resides within me. It's a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit, the capacity for resilience, the ability to transform loss into acceptance, and to find peace, not in forgetting, but in remembering with a gentler heart, a heart that has learned to embrace the complexities of life, the bittersweet symphony of a life lived, and the quiet beauty of a new beginning. The past is a part of me, but it no longer dictates my future. It informs it, enriches it, but ultimately, it no longer holds me captive. I am free. The window in my small apartment faces west. Every evening, as the sun dips below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange, purples, and gold, I sit and watch. It's a simple ritual, a quiet moment of reflection, a time to observe the subtle changes in the light, the way the colors shift and blend, the way the day gives way to the night. It's a beautiful spectacle, a daily reminder of the enduring beauty of the natural world, a beauty that transcends the losses and disappointments of life. The sunsets here are different from the sunsets on the farm. There, the sky stretched endlessly, a vast canvas reflecting the moods of the land. Here, the sky is framed by the buildings, the trees, the quiet streets of this small town. But the beauty is just as profound, just as captivating, just as capable of stirring the soul. It's a different kind of beauty, a gentler, more intimate beauty, a beauty that speaks not of vastness and expanse, but of quiet peace and quiet contemplation. Watching the sunset, I feel a sense of peace wash over me, a quiet acceptance of the life I've lived, the choices I've made, the losses I've endured. It's not a denial of the past, but a recognition of its significance, a quiet understanding that the past, with all its joys and sorrows, has shaped me, strengthened me, and prepared me for this new chapter. The farm is gone, but its lessons remain, etched into my soul, woven into the fabric of my being. This new life, this unexpected beginning in old age, is not a replacement for the life I once knew, but a transformation of it, an evolution, a quiet blossoming in the heart of grief. It is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, the capacity for hope, the ability to find beauty and peace even in the face of loss. The sunsets here, framed by the quiet streets of this small town, are a reminder that even in old age, new beginnings can emerge, new beauty can be found, and a quiet, enduring peace can be cultivated. It's a peace born not of forgetting, but of accepting, embracing, and ultimately celebrating the unpredictable journey of life. The future stretches before me, a vast and unknown landscape, but I approach it not with fear, but with a quiet confidence, a sense of calm acceptance. The years have taught me that life is an unpredictable journey, a winding road filled with unexpected turns, unforeseen challenges, and moments of profound beauty. I've learned to embrace the uncertainty, to navigate the twists and turns with resilience and grace. The loss of the farm, the rift with my son, the pain of letting go, these were profound experiences, shaping me in ways I could never have imagined. They stripped me bare, revealing a strength I didn't know I possessed, a resilience forged in the crucible of hardship. And from those ashes, a new life has emerged, a life built not on fertile fields and bountiful harvests, but on quiet strength, unexpected connections, and a profound sense of peace. I don't know what the future holds, and frankly, I'm not afraid to admit it. There's a certain freedom in that, a liberation from the need to control every aspect of life. I've learned that life's greatest joys often come unexpectedly, that the most profound moments are often the ones we least anticipate. I've learned to appreciate the quiet moments, the simple pleasures, the unexpected connections that enrich our lives. This quiet acceptance, this willingness to embrace the unknown, is not a passive resignation, but an active engagement with life, a recognition of its inherent unpredictability, and a quiet confidence in my ability to navigate whatever challenges lie ahead. I've faced hardship, I've endured loss, and I've emerged stronger, wiser, and more resilient than ever before. I carry those experiences with me, not as burdens, but as talismans, reminders of my strength, my resilience, and my unwavering capacity for hope. The future is uncertain, yes, but I am ready. I am prepared. I am at peace. They say the human spirit is resilient, capable of withstanding even the most devastating blows. I used to scoff at such pronouncements, viewing them as trite platitudes, empty words offering little comfort in the face of genuine hardship. But now, looking back on the past few years, I understand. I truly understand. The loss of the farm, the fracture in my relationship with Mark, the profound sense of displacement and despair, these were not merely trials, but profound tests of my character, my resolve, my very essence. And yet, here I am. I'm not the same man I was before the farm was sold. The land, the house, the familiar rhythms of rural life, these are gone, irretrievably lost. But something else has taken their place, something stronger, something more enduring. It's a quiet strength, a deep-seated resilience born from the ashes of loss, tempered by the fires of grief and nourished by the unexpected kindness of strangers. The human spirit, I've discovered, is not merely a passive recipient of life's blows. It's an active participant, a dynamic force capable of adapting, transforming, and ultimately thriving in the face of adversity. It's a testament to our capacity for growth, our ability to learn from our mistakes, our unwavering determination to persevere, even when the odds seem insurmountable. It's not about forgetting the pain, the loss, the disappointment. It's about acknowledging it, accepting it, integrating it into the fabric of our being, and allowing it to shape us, strengthen us, and ultimately make us wiser, more compassionate, and more resilient. The strength of the human spirit isn't about avoiding hardship, but about enduring it, transforming it, and emerging stronger, wiser, and more deeply connected to the profound beauty of life's unpredictable journey. It's a testament to our enduring capacity for hope, for resilience, and for the quiet, enduring beauty of a life lived, a life transformed, a life embraced. Life in this small town is simpler than it was on the farm. There are fewer demands, fewer responsibilities, fewer of the relentless pressures that once defined my days, and in that simplicity, I found a strange kind of beauty, a quiet joy that I never fully appreciated before. The relentless demands of the farm, the endless cycle of planting and harvesting, the constant struggle against the elements, they obscured the beauty of the simpler things. Now I find myself appreciating the small things, the things I once overlooked in my relentless pursuit of productivity. The warmth of the sun on my face, the gentle rustle of leaves in the breeze, the comforting silence of a quiet evening, the unexpected kindness of a neighbor, the shared laughter over a cup of coffee with newfound friends. These are the things that now enrich my days, filling them with a quiet contentment that I never knew existed. The library, with its quiet hum and the scent of old paper, has become a sanctuary, a place of peace and reflection. The books, with their stories and insights, offer solace and companionship. The quiet rhythm of my work, the gentle turning of pages, the hushed conversations with patrons, these simple acts have become a source of profound satisfaction. I used to measure my life by the size of my harvest, the abundance of my crops, the value of my land. Now I measure it by the depth of my connections, the warmth of my friendships, the quiet contentment of my simple life. It's a different kind of wealth, a different kind of abundance, but it's a wealth that is far more precious, far more enduring, and far more satisfying than anything I ever found in the relentless pursuit of material success. It's a beauty born of simplicity, a quiet joy found in the everyday, a peace that transcends the complexities of a life lived and a life fully embraced. The years have etched their mark on my face, leaving behind a roadmap of laughter, hardship, and quiet contemplation. The lines around my eyes tell a story of sun-drenched days spent toiling in the fields, of sleepless nights spent worrying about the farm, and of quiet evenings spent watching the sunset paint the sky in hues of gold and orange. My hands, once calloused and strong from years of hard work, now bear the marks of time, a testament to a life lived fully, a life dedicated to the land, a life shaped by loss and ultimately by peace. But it's in my eyes, I believe, where the true story lies. They reflect not the bitterness of loss, not the sting of betrayal, but a quiet dignity, a serene acceptance of life's unpredictable journey. They reflect the strength I found in the face of adversity, the resilience that allowed me to weather the storms, the quiet hope that sustained me through the darkest nights. These eyes have witnessed the beauty of sunrises over rolling fields, the majesty of towering oak trees, the simple joy of a shared meal with loved ones. They've also witnessed the pain of loss, the agony of betrayal, the crushing weight of despair. But they haven't been dimmed by the darkness. They haven't been clouded by resentment. Instead, they reflect a quiet understanding, a deep-seated peace, a profound acceptance of the life I've lived, the choices I've made, and the lessons I've learned. This quiet dignity isn't born of resignation, but of resilience. It's not a passive acceptance of fate, but an active engagement with life, a recognition of its inherent beauty, its unpredictable nature, and its capacity to surprise and delight. It's the culmination of a life lived fully, a life transformed by loss, a life enriched by unexpected connections, and a life ultimately defined not by the things I've lost, but by the strength I've found, the peace I've cultivated, and the quiet dignity I've embraced. It's a quiet strength born of enduring hardship, a peaceful acceptance of life's unpredictable journey, and a quiet hope that continues to bloom, even in the twilight of years. They say a man's legacy is etched in stone, in the buildings he constructs, the land he cultivates, the family he raises. For years I believed that my legacy was the farm, the acres of fertile land I had worked so diligently, the sturdy farmhouse I had built with my own 2 hands. It was a tangible legacy, a visible testament to my life's work, a legacy I envisioned passing down through generations. But life, as it often does, had other plans. The farm is gone, sold to developers, its fields now destined for houses and shopping centers. A part of me died with it, a part of me that was deeply intertwined with the soil, the seasons, the relentless rhythm of rural life. But in the emptiness, in the silence, in the quiet solitude of my new life, I've discovered a different kind of legacy, one that's far more profound, far more enduring, and far more meaningful. My legacy isn't just the farm I built, but the strength I found in letting go, the resilience I discovered in the face of devastating loss, the quiet dignity with which I navigated the unexpected turns of life's unpredictable journey. It's the lessons I've learned, the connections I've forged, the quiet peace I've cultivated in the face of adversity. It's in the unexpected kindness of strangers, the warmth of newfound friendships, the quiet contentment of a life lived simply, a life stripped bare of material possessions, but rich in human connection and quiet joy. My legacy is not in the acres of land I once owned, but in the quiet strength I've shown, the resilience I've demonstrated, and the peace I've found in rebuilding my life, embracing change, cherishing memories, and accepting the unexpected beauty of a life transformed. It's a legacy not etched in stone, but in the quiet dignity of a life lived fully, a life accepted, a life embraced, and a life ultimately defined not by material possessions, but by the enduring strength of the human spirit. Old age, they say, is a time of reflection, a time of summing up, a time of looking back on a life lived, and in many ways that's true. I look back on the farm, on the years of toil and sweat, on the joys and sorrows, on the triumphs and failures. I remember the laughter of children, the warmth of family, the simple pleasures of a life lived close to the earth, and I remember the pain, the loss, the profound sense of displacement that followed the sale of the farm. But old age is also a time of unexpected beginnings, a time of surprising discoveries, a time of quiet joy found in the simplest of things. It's a time when the relentless demands of life ease, when the pace slows, when there's space to appreciate the beauty of a sunset, the warmth of a friendship, the quiet contentment of a life lived simply. The library, my unexpected sanctuary, has become a place of peace, a place of connection, a place where I've discovered a new purpose, a new sense of belonging. The quiet hum of activity, the scent of old paper, the shared laughter over a cup of coffee with newfound friends, these are the unexpected gifts of old age, the quiet joys that fill my days with a sense of purpose and fulfillment. Life, I've discovered, is not a straight line, a predictable journey from birth to death. It's a winding road, full of unexpected turns, unexpected detours, and unexpected destinations. And even in old age, even in the twilight of years, there's still room for new beginnings, for unexpected joys, for the quiet contentment of a life lived fully, a life embraced, a life transformed. The sun continues to set each evening, painting the sky in hues of gold and orange, reminding me that even in the face of loss, even in the face of profound grief, hope remains, a persistent ember glowing in the quiet corners of the heart. And that, my friends, is the greatest gift of all. If this story touched something inside you, if you've ever lost a piece of your own history or had to find yourself all over again, share your story below. We're not alone in these endings and new beginnings. Subscribe if you want more stories about starting over, letting go, and finding quiet strength when the world changes around you. Sometimes, the most powerful legacies are born not from what we keep, but from how we learn to move forward.